So when's the last time you went an entire day without really moving around, like just doing nothing? I mean, aside from like walking to the bathroom, going to the fridge, but like just doing nothing. And so a curious thing is when we stop moving, everything slows down. Our body slows down, our metabolism slows down, especially our brain. So that's what we're talking about today, is our mental health is associated with movements.
Which is like, it's so important nowadays, so important, especially whenever we're talking about a rise of ADHD, ADD, Alzheimer's, right? It's definitely like front of mind for so many people. And with everyone taking antidepressants. Yeah.
All right. The rise of everybody having some kind of mental disability or problems that's going on in the background.
Right. And so it kind of makes you wonder, like, why is that? I wonder why.
Excuse me. And so today, that's what we want to talk about, right? And so how movement is probably one of the most powerful built-in mental health tools that we have. It's going to work for children all the way through elderly.
Oh, so for sure.
All the way to end of life.
Yeah.
And so those are the things that we need to talk about. And
I mean, you kind of casually hear about it, right? Oh, you should move. Oh, people are sedentary, right? And I feel like it's one of those things that it gets said so much that it almost gets washed over.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, like one of those, oh, you should eat better. Mm-hmm. As I put down a bag of Doritos, you know, I definitely feel like it's just one of those things that, like, we all know that we should do, but how important is it? And does it really matter? And if I don't need to lose weight, is it still pertaining to me? Sure. You know what I mean? Right? Yeah,
for sure. And so hopefully by the end of it, all of us will have a little better understanding of it. Right. And so just a little quick intro. We're both chiropractors. Right? We're both definitely like functional movement nerds too. And so we're always really interested in how the bodies work, how the function of all the parts and pieces work together. Chiropractors by nature are really interested in the nervous system, the brain, and how it all connects. And so it's a big thing for us, is what is it doing in the background? So
and how it communicates with each other. I don't think people typically think about that, like how involved the brain is with the rest of the body and how it's constantly communicating, giving feedback all the time.
How intertwined all of it is.
Yeah. Because we like to think of it as like separate units, right? Like here's the brain, and then here's the rest of my body, right? But everything genuinely is connected and feeds off each other.
Right. See a couple comments. Hi, how are you? So in the comments, drop that, right? So in the comments, so what's your favorite like go-to just to get moving in the day? So not necessarily working out, but like, is it going for a walk around the neighborhood? Is it, I like to walk on a treadmill in the morning? Is it chasing the kids around the yard? Like, do I like to just go play with the kids for a little bit?
Right, or the dog. Moving, right? Like playing with the dog outside, something like that.
Sure. And so that those are things that are fun. So if you got something that you like, that you love, that's maybe a little bit unique, throw it in that.
Yeah.
Right. When the brain is affected. Yes, for sure. And so that's what we're going to get into now. So movement changes your brain chemistry. So movement is one of the drivers of a lot of the chemistries that tell us what we do, how we feel, and everything else. And so our brain's just a big chemical plant, and it's always making chemicals, it's always receiving chemicals, and it's changing things back and forth.
Yeah, chemicals are like messenger signals, right? And so whenever we are moving our body and we are communicating with our brain, it then releases all of these chemicals within our brain.
Right. And so there's been plenty of research that tells us that exercise, so like exactly physical exercise, so big exertions for long periods of time, they for certain release a lot of endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and BNDF chemicals, which are going to be brain-derived neurotrophic factors, which is like fertilizer for your brain. So it helps us build more connections in our brain. It helps us develop more acuity and it streamlines those connections, and so it gets better connections to the parts and pieces at the same time.
And more we're learning that at one point in time people had this idea, or researchers and doctors had this idea, that you couldn't improve your brain right? You couldn't grow your brain. You couldn't improve it, especially as you got older. But now we're finding out that that is just not the case.
Mm-hmm. Question. So the chemicals, are they neurons that fire messages? So the chemicals that are in our brain, they go to the neurons and they trigger signals and responses within the brain. So these chemicals that we produce in our brain go to other parts of the brain to trigger responses.
Right.
So like depression, right? So the most common drug that we're going to take for somebody that has moderate to severe depression is going to be a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So it keeps serotonin really high in the brain. So what they're going to, well, the reason they're treating it that way is that we have a very low level of serotonin in our normal day-to-day life, and so we're feeling really depressed.
But it'll end up burning out the receptor.
Right, and so you raise your serotonin unnaturally. All of a sudden, you need that high level. So it's just like any other chemical stimulant. So think somebody that smokes, so nicotine. It raises the serotonin and dopamine levels too. So the nicotine gives you that little bump for a moment, and then it all falls back down. You're like, oh, I need to get back to that bump.
Right.
And so that's a big problem in the long-term effects of those SSRI reuptake inhibitors. So if you could get a natural bump in your serotonin, that's even better. And so there's plenty of research that tells us that exercise helps raise that serotonin, which helps combat depression, ADHD, a number of those chemical imbalance issues that we see that are going on.
And I beg to say that maybe we're having those issues because we are less active, because we are more sedentary.
Much more sedentary.
And we're really designed to be mobile. This is designed to be mobile. So the brain is wired for the body to be going and for that to be a positive feedback system. Yeah. So we're meant to get good feelings whenever we move because that's how we're designed.
Yeah. Our body's saying, keep going. We need more food. We need more things. So let's keep going. Right. And so that's definitely one of those things. As far as foods that can help us fight depression, generally we're going to think of things that are going to reduce our inflammation. So stay away from inflammatory foods. There's plenty of information on autoimmune protocols and different
AIP diet is usually what we recommend in the office. Because whenever you do reduce the inflammation, you will naturally end up feeling better. And right.
And then even getting into ketosis once in a while. So
always a winner.
I wouldn't say all the time that you would have to, but getting into ketosis once in a while helps regulate some of those receptors. So it makes them a little bit more sensitive. So it doesn't necessarily raise those chemicals, but it makes everything a little bit more sensitive to those chemicals when they're going in our brain.
Yeah.
So once in a while, if you get into that ketosis, it helps a ton. So usually if you're going to do a ketogenic diet, you need to stay probably 30 to 90 days before you're going to see an effect. So that's one of those things with the ketogenic diets or the ketogenic style diets is you got to stay pretty low for a while before you get the effects of it.
Right. Because at first, depending on how you've been eating, at first, whenever you start it, you get like the keto flu and you just, like you feel awful and you're like, this is not what I was intending. And then you get to thinking that like your body needs all those things when it's really just more of like a withdrawal situation.
Sure. The processed meats, usually the nitrates do trigger a couple of things.
For a lot of people it can. For some people it doesn't, but like that's a case by case basis. And so a general outline is to take something out of your diet 2 weeks to a month just to see how it affects you and then reintroduce it slowly and notice if there's any changes, whether there's aches, pains, or whether you do have that mental fog, whether you are just like in a foul mood that day, ankle swelling, things like that. Ringing in your ears, things like that, just stuff to look out for.
Migraines.
100%. Yeah, if you reintroduce a food and you get a migraine, stay away from that one.
The paleo diet, that's a really good option for most people. The general public, so we would say just normal humans. The paleo diet's going to be pretty close to an anti-inflammatory style diet. There may be a few things that you would have in the paleo diet that you wouldn't have in the anti-inflammatory diet. In fact, in the office.
Like eggs.
Right. I use a paleo style diet that is based in the AIP. So it's very close to what you would do. I imagine if Nick did the paleo diet for 90 days, he would feel some pretty good significant difference in multitudes of levels in his life. She asked about eggs, and she just spoke about eggs.
Yeah. For a lot of people, they are allergic to eggs, even though it is thought of to be very natural, very healthy. And for a lot of people, they're just fine. But genuinely, if it is a concern, you really don't know how something is affecting you for real until you pull it out and then you slowly try to put it back in. You just don't know. And then once you start reintroducing, if you see any triggers, or it doesn't have to be a full-blown allergy either, just as we were mentioning before, like if you start having ringing in your ears, or there's all of a sudden that pain in your hip pop back up after you were eating eggs that morning, or a migraine, right? Those are all signs and symptoms that you need to be aware of.
Always lots of water, yes. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. And every once in a while, if you throw some electrolytes in it, even if it's just like a good high quality sea salt, that kind of thing, it's going to help balance some of those levels, so we get that going.
LMNT, right? Everybody talks about it. It's a good one. Yeah.
That's probably a good one. Really good flavors in it too.
Yeah.
One of the most common allergens within eggs is going to be gallbladder reflux, and so you're like, oh man, I get a lot of indigestion, reflux, and that's because it affects the gallbladder. It's probably the most common.
Dr. B can't eat eggs.
No, I can't.
He figured it out. He ate them his entire life, and then all of a sudden, like, he took them out and tried to reintroduce them. He was like, "Oh, that's what that was."
Yeah, definitely that, and pork, definitely. That was one of those things. I never knew that was the issue too, until they took it out.
Sadly, bacon is not a part of your life. I know.
Right. Somebody's talking about energy drinks, sodas, and those kinds of things, and juices.
Yeah. I mean, let's
just like anything, right?
Like let's be honest. None of those are good.
No.
Like none of those are good. And I know that at some point in time we may have had the idea that like fruit juice was okay, but really they're just taking all the sugar and compacting it,
right?
And taking out all the fiber.
When's the last time I sat down and ate like 12 oranges?
Right, in order to get that glass of orange juice, like it's a significant amount of oranges that you would have to squeeze, and so it becomes more of like a quantity issue. But whenever it comes to sodas, we all know whether it is sugar-free or not, it's not good for you. Energy drinks, hey, I about once a week I'm hitting an energy drink, such as Life. But
treat it like a drug, though.
Right. Understand that it's going to fall into the category of something that you do not need to actually partake in.
Yeah, unfortunately, or at least no bacon for me. Some people can eat bacon, no problem. And there's been
eat bacon, no problem.
There's been some pretty recent research on the nitrates, so the preservatives that are in like bacon and things like that, and how we were all pretty scared of them for a moment.
Yeah.
All the natural things. So you think the naturally preserved things
like
have
the celery
higher
salt
level of nitrates than any of the ones that are naturally processed with the chemical nitrates, and they're the same chemical structure. So there's really no difference in it.
Right.
If you're sensitive to nitrates,
I mean, it sounds better.
Yeah. But if
whenever they're putting it on a label,
doesn't make a difference.
But it doesn't really make a difference.
Right. If you can live your life decaffeinated, please do. It's much better.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like that ain't my life. I love my coffee. I'm heavily dependent on it. But like if you can, if that is an option for you, it is genuinely better.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%. In so many ways.
All kinds of things are better, especially if you're like an ADHD or something like that.
Oh yeah.
If you can reduce your dependency on those stimulants, and because they're so short acting, it's really not the best.
Yeah, especially as you were saying, like if you do have ADD, ADHD, like you're on the spectrum of some sort, like removing caffeine, it's going to be a game changer for you on how you're able to focus and calm down.
It'll take a minute though.
Yeah. Just like anything, whenever you're pulling it out, it's going to take a moment for you to adjust.
It's not no bacon for everybody. I mean, we're all concerned about the bacon here. So some people can eat bacon, some people can't. Cut it out of your diet for a minute, see if it makes a difference in your life. And if it doesn't, when you reintroduce it, keep eating.
Yeah, please put it back in.
Right, yeah, so no big deal on that one. But getting back to movement, right? So the movement in our life is really going to help us a ton with things. So there's been a meta-analysis of like just 20 minutes of exercise reduces or at least has the same effectiveness as most of the antidepressants on the market. So if every day you got up and did a mild to moderate exercise for 20 minutes, works better than just about every pill you can take for your anxiety and depression.
And it's free. And you don't have to keep upping it either.
Right.
Yeah. And it actually has a benefit for your health.
Mm-hmm. Prolonged exposure to caffeine, yes, will increase your anxiety and symptoms of anxiety just because of the way that the chemical processes work.
Yeah.
And it affects your sleep to some degree, so you don't get on the REM sleep, and that doesn't clear the chemical traces of the anxiety through the day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. The kids, so ADHD kids, overactive kids, are the ones that are just wired. If you make them work out and run, so make them run the block,
right, burn that energy,
burn it out, it's going to make it a lot better for them. Their cognitive abilities are going to increase too. So not just that they're tired or wore out.
Oh yeah,
they can process things a lot better. Their brain got enough stimulation to calm down. And that's the big thing with ADHD and ADD is that you got so much going on in your head. Your brain's trying to get all these things done, and there's not enough to do, and so it just gets overwhelmed. So if you go occupy your brain by doing something pretty physical, it takes a lot of your brain attention away, and so it can start to clear up the thought process and some patterns, and it does a lot better.
Yeah, and it is so huge for kids. I mean, for kids, there's also like a dietary aspect that is really important. But you have to get them out there running, playing.
Off of the iPad.
Yeah. Oh, that's a different topic for a different day. Like that's like almost a no-go for children that have ADD and ADHD. It's like, it's a major trigger. It'll flip them.
Another study tells us that stagnation, so sitting around not doing anything, is linked to an increased rate of depression by 48%.
Yeah.
So nearly half of the people that are going to be stagnant are going to see an increased rate in diagnosable depression.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a serious number.
Well, but your body was intended
to do something.
To move.
Right. Yeah, bicycles are great. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
It's spectacular. It's a good way to get around. It's low impact on your joints. It actually offloads your back. So it's a really good option for a lot of people if they can ride it for sure, right? Yeah. And then she likes me because she's my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're married. It's good fun. We have 6 kids, so we know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah. So if we talk about kids a lot, it is because we have many.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
Sitting is the new smoking. It's definitely shortening our lifespan significantly. Yes. It's affecting our attitudes, our brains, and everything else. And that's why we're talking about this today.
It actually has the increased mortality as smoking. Like it's equatable.
Yep.
Sitting around and not doing anything. There is no such thing as a sedentary, healthy person. Now, we think that because we look at somebody and we say, oh, look, they look a certain way, right? They look skinny or something like
skinny
that.
Fat.
Right, skinny fat. But there is no such thing. You're going to pay for it somehow, some way. You will either pay for it weight gain, or it'll come in on your joints, or it'll come in on your back, or it'll come in on your brain.
Paralyzed. So one of the things that most patients that are paralyzed are going to have a PT come in, they're going to get them upright, and they're actually going to move their joints.
Right, and actually move them.
The reason they do that is not just for the joints; it's actually for the brain's ability to function.
Yeah,
and so that's one of the big things on that
and to
side.
Circulate lymph and everything as well.
Yeah. And people that are prolonged, like severe paralysis, so they've lost function at different parts and pieces, generally are going to have some imbalances and issues that are going to happen on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that they're not healthy, right? And that they probably eat well and all those things and take care of themselves, but their brain's ability is not going to be perfect. And it's just because the input's not there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying that they're unhealthy by any means. There's, to her point, so when we're talking about all risk mortality, there's a Harvard study that found men who walk just 30 minutes a day live 3 years longer on average. I mean, so that'd be like stopping smoking in your 40s, like almost the same equivalent there, right?
And it's it's such a small thing. It's a big ask whenever you're trying to incorporate it in your life, for sure. And you do kind of have to set up schedules, right? And in order to make it happen. But it can make such a profound effect on your life.
Imagine if they put a meter in the bottom corner of your Netflix. Just says how many hours of your life it's taken from you. Because like every 15 minutes of movement reduces the risk of all-cause mortality by 4%. 4%. 4%. Right? Yeah. So every 15 minutes, 4% reduction in all-cause mortality. And that's a really crazy thing. 8 hours of sitting is equivalent to a year of smoking. Like ridiculous numbers here. So we got to get moving.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, it's not, okay, we're talking about the body and the brain, of course, but like also the heart, right? Also the joints, also the low back. Everything gets involved.
For sure. I mean, like, think just like 4%. If I just went walking 15 minutes a day, yeah. I did 4% increase in my function, decrease in my all-cause mortality, and then the next day I did it again. It'd be like compounding interest. I'd take 4% compounding interest every day of the week on my life. Like that'd be so cool. I do a little bit more than 15 minutes, but like, that's what we need to do. I'm going to do as much as I can for that return. That's definitely.
And the patients that we see that come in here that say they go walking, just simply walking. They're not doing anything else. They're just walking.
Just like going for a brisk walk.
Oh my goodness! Like their muscular tone and how they respond to treatment is incredible. It is rapid, which I'm always intrigued, right? So I always ask somebody who is doing exceptionally well and they're doing our exercises really well. I'm like, oh, what do you do? And they're like, oh, just go walking. I've been doing it for the last 20 years. I'm like, that's amazing. Right. Keep it up. Never stop.
Somebody asked, is bed rotting as bad as sitting? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
You just laying in bed not doing nothing. It's going to be pretty similar.
Oh, no.
I don't know if there's any hardcore research on the difference between the two. I'll look into that and see. But I'm pretty sure it's
right.
Just the same.
I mean, it's still not moving. It's still not getting up.
Right. And then about 10 minutes on a treadmill, indoor versus outdoor. Which one's going to be better for you?
Okay. Obviously, outdoor. Right. Okay. Obviously.
A couple of reasons outdoor.
Right. Because you're out in nature. Right. Unless it's like a snowstorm. And then obviously I'm going to say no. But being out in the elements, right, that is going to have a profound effect on your energy level, brain, everything. But hey, I got a treadmill in my room. And that's how I get it in, because that's just what works for my schedule.
Just time.
Also stairs at work. If you got them,
I take a lot of stairs at work.
Run up and down.
Being outside in the sunshine, around the trees, the grass, and everything else, our bodies are primarily like wired for that kind of thing. So it's really, really good for our body to be outside once in a while.
Yeah, so grounding.
Thing in Texas in the summer, like we go from air conditioned spot to air conditioned spot and never go outside because I don't want to melt, catch on fire.
I don't do 109.
Right? So early in the morning, you go sit on the porch, don't do much, but you get outside, do some stuff, and then go back to the gym and work out a little bit. Still get a little bit of both of the effects.
Yeah.
Being out in the sun first thing in the morning really helps a lot of your circadian rhythms. So there's a lot of things that go on in the background that keep going to make you work better, feel better, sleep better, get your patterns better. So going outside once in a while is a really good thing in that scenario. And that's along the same list of the things that we're thinking about. So getting out of your chair at work, going outside for a minute.
Yeah, if you can have that break during the day, we like to do that. And like walk down the street and all of that. It kind of, it definitely puts you in a better mood, but also gives you a reason to get outside, walk.
Right. So make sure that you get out, you do something, do some working out. If you like working out, if you don't like working out, go for a walk for 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Go around the mall for 10 to 15 minutes.
Right.
So find
stretch.
A situation.
Like if you like doing yoga, get up. Right. Throw down the mat. Do just a few movements.
Right. Something's better than nothing again.
Yeah.
One of our mantras that we always do. Something's better than nothing. So if you can't do 20 minutes, do 10 minutes. If you can't do 10 minutes, do 5 minutes. Something's better than nothing.
Right. There are days that I show up at the gym just because of like a hectic schedule, and I will only be there 10 minutes. Like that is just what I got.
Get something in and go.
Right. Yeah. But even that 10 minutes, I genuinely notice a huge difference, not only in like my cognition, but also like physically, my body will just look different, feel different, move differently. And once again, that's only 10 minutes. If I got more, I take it, but
for sure,
squeezing in what you can when you can is important.
One of the challenges we'll leave you with this week is for the next 7 days, do something for 10 minutes. Go for a walk, get out and do some air squats, do something for 10 minutes. I want you to write down before and after how you feel. Just pay attention to it. So be really cognizant, do some movement with intention, see how it feels, see how it changes your energy, your mood, your feeling throughout the day. See if you don't have that 3 o'clock slump at work. See how much it changes for you. If it doesn't do a thing for you, scrap it. If you go, oh, wow, I actually do feel a little bit different, keep it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be our challenge for this week. So instead of sitting there rotting away, get around, move, do something. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make your brain better. It's going to make your cognition better. It's going to help with your ADD, your anxiety, your depression, all the things. You're going to live longer. Let's move.
Yeah, that sounds like a winner on all parts.
And so if you need any help with any of these movements, if it hurts too much to move, if you have questions about like details, leaky gut syndromes, any of the functional health side of it, we're always available. If you need intense help, we're in the office. We're here in Dallas, Texas. So if you need something along the lines of some real assistance, we're happy to do that for you. You can shoot us an email. You can check out our website, texasfhc.com. We'll keep putting out these informationals. We'll keep doing fun things every week, trying to come up with something fun, teach you a little bit of something, things that you can do at home, all those things.
Yeah, if you have any suggestions, just drop it down. Otherwise, I just keep coming up with things every week.
So send us a message if you got an idea for a good show or something that you want to learn about. Until next time, we'll see you later.
Bye.